Good news for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Before we listen to this very important update from Maxwell Opara, the lawyer to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is important to note that his appeal hearing is expected to come up very soon. Within next week. However, there are serious concerns surrounding this very development, and it must not be ignored. First, there are indications that Kanu may be compelled to defend himself at the Court of Appeal, because as we speak, his lawyer just cleared that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not being represented by any lawyer. Neither has Mazi Nnamdi Kanu assigned any lawyer against his Court of Appeal. And secondly, even more troubling is the likelihood that his appeal will be heard in Sokoto. And this raises critical questions. Who are the judges currently serving at the Court of Appeal in Sokoto? What is their judicial record? Are Nigerians truly thinking deeply about the implications of this very venue? The decision to move Kanu's appeal to Sokoto appears far from innocent. Something is very, very wrong. One cannot help but ask whether the federal government has acted with clear bias, especially considering that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has repeatedly been denied every reasonable and possible opportunity to pursue his case in Abuja. And there are deeper issues many are overlooking. We must not forget how Kanu's previous judgment appeared almost like a pre-written script seemingly authored during the Buhari's administration. Is it merely a coincidence that his appeal is now being linked to Sokoto, the same place where he is currently being held? Could this be part of a broader calculated strategy? Is this a political afterthought of the late Buhari era being quietly sustained by Tinubu? There are many facts the federal government is yet to disclose, and perhaps Nnamdi Kanu himself understands something that the public does not, something that explains why he has consistently filed applications seeking a transfer from Sokoto back to Abuja. Before we draw conclusion, let us listen and examine the latest update from Maxwell Opara, his legal counsel.
Today is the 31st day of January 2026, and it's good for me to give you updates. A lot of you have been calling me, asking me about the appeal and what have you. On the issue of the appeal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I have a good news for you, because I've been seeing a lot of calls, a lot of calls, people calling me, trying to ask me, has the appeal been filed? I told them no, we have not filed the appeal, because we are still working on it. A lot of consultants, a lot of experts, professionals has been working day and night, so bringing their own inputs. So when we collect it together, we circulate, everybody making inputs. We have crossed the T's and dotted the I's, and decided to come up with the final and the clean copy of the notice of appeal for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So he has signed, and he has given us our opportunity to file it on his behalf, and by Tuesday or Wednesday next week, he will be able to file, and that one is on that. So for those of you who are asking about the appeal will be filed by next week. But meanwhile, we are still within time anyway. Our time will expire by 19th of February. We are still within time, so we'll file by next week. Then that one is on that. On the issue of information flying around, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that I should tell you people, any information you have, you are doubting whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu say this or Mazi Kanu will not say this, you have free tickets to come and visit him. Nobody's collecting money from anybody. On the issue that people are collecting money, we have verified that from 21st November till now, since he was brought to Sokoto here, we have the list of those who have visited him, and the investigation revealed that nobody paid money for anybody for him to come and see him. Because one, if you want to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you go to the correctional center, you fill form, they will send it to him. They will be the person to approve whether you are free to see him or not. You don't need my approval for you to go and see him. You don't need the approval of the siblings for anybody to go and see him. So when somebody is telling you that the siblings, the lawyers are collecting money to go and see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, please put that story in dustbin. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a frank and right. I give them saying it is a fake news, it is wrong, it is never done.
All right, the time to file appeal for Nnamdi is fast running out. Can you give us an update on the appeal?
We lawyers are no longer representing him. In this case, just like as I told you the other day, I have some other matters that I'm doing. Rather, he is consulting. I hear them say, like every other person. There are some persons that are doing some matters, especially in election petition, are not into that matter. But they will say, Maxwell, please research for me on this specific issue. You research for me on this. You build, and if they pay you, you research and give to them. They know what they're going to do with it. So he has a lot of consultants, both those he consulted and those that freely offered to assist him. So all those consultants, I'm just acting as one of them and as a rallying point. When they submit, they'll give me, because I do go to Sokoto. So most of them have submitted their opinion to him. Then on the issue that has to do with him coming down from Sokoto in Abuja, his appeal is in Abuja and is in Sokoto. The thing is also affecting the trial, because there are some things that he needed to do. Remember that before this final judgment, he has filed some interlocutory appeal at Court of Appeal, even at the Supreme Court. So there are some things that he needed to do. There are some documents that he needed to get on his own. But because of the fairness, we have applied that he should be transferred to Abuja. They did not. The judge adjourned it, I think, is on this week. He applied through motion expert to the court. So the court said that he should go and serve the prosecution, put them on notice, which he has done, and adjourned them, I think, on the 27th. So for him to come down, I believe if he comes around Abuja, it will help him to prepare his appeal. And moreover, somebody that is in detention and is in Sokoto, and you know what is happening in Sokoto. America bombing and a lot of things happening there. So the thing is also affecting him mentally. So he's not mentally stable, as in, this is academic work, it's a paperwork. So to organize himself, and to worsen it, the judge made an order saying that he should not have access to any electronic gadget. Someone that is representing himself. You're asking me, why do you say that the judgment was predicated on anger? The prison custodian authorities say that what they normally do is this: when the judge give judgment, I am saying they will convict somebody and sentence him. They normally give them that opportunity for them to choose the particular place they will fix a particular person. Like now, you cannot say you convict a female suspect and you say that you are ordering that it should be detained in Kuje Correctional Center. Here you know that there is no facility for women there. You may not know. So that's why when you give judgment, you allow the custodian authorities to choose where they put the person. But this one, he said that he should, in that judgment, that he should be kept in any protective custody within Nigeria. And we heard on that, only for us to hear that he has been transferred to Sokoto. So when we confronted the correctional service, they said that in the remand order, the judge signed, after signing, he mentioned Sokoto, thereby tying them. They cannot go against Sokoto.
Now, I don't even know if we are to call this a good news. I mean, for the fact that his appeal is actually coming up, or for the fact that there are very, very big conspiracy ahead of this very appeal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. I mean, the big question is, should Nigerians call this development a good news or bad news? Now, let's analyze and digest what this represents. On the surface, the announcement that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's appeal is coming up soon sounds like good news. But when we look closely at the surrounding facts, this so-called good news begins to raise more questions than hope. There are several serious issues with the current appeal update, and that I want you to listen very carefully as we go deep into it. First off, as of today, there has been no clear public confirmation of Kanu's legal team for the appeal. There has been no formal statement from Kanu saying that are my lawyers. Instead, we keep hearing conflicting claims from different legal actors. And this is deeply concerning because history has shown that confusion around legal representation only exposes him to further legal traps and technical setbacks. And I ask again, I hope Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not appealing to represent himself. And that is something many supporters have repeatedly warned against. And the second one is the strong indication that the appeal may be heard in Sokoto is itself a major red flag in this very case. One must ask, who are the judges? Like I stated in my intro, who are the judges currently sitting at the Court of Appeal in Sokoto? What are their judicial records? Why Sokoto when Abuja remains the natural and central, even logical venue for a case in this magnitude? This decision appears far from neutral, especially when viewed against the backdrop of Kanu's repeated attempts to secure his hearing in Abuja, all of which have been frustrated. Now, there are many issues Nigerians are failing to connect. We must remember how the trial court judgment itself looked almost like a pre-written script, widely believed to have been shaped during the Buhari's administration. Is it therefore a coincidence that Kanu is currently heading Sokoto prison and now his appeal is also being routed to Sokoto? This raises a disturbing question. Is this appeal truly meant to deliver justice, or is it simply a procedural part designed to sustain the trial court verdict? Because many are gushed with fear that the outcome is already predetermined. An appeal ruling that simply misstates that the Court of Appeal upholds the decision of the trial court, and just like that, everything ends. If that happens, critical issues will be conveniently ignored. The illegal manner in which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was brought back to Nigeria, the question of jurisdiction, the reliance on laws that had already been repealed, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been crying out in the court. All this may be swept aside simply because the appeal is being heard in Sokoto. I know a lot of people would ask, was the trial court not in Abuja? But there is something you don't know that I think you should try to understand. A development that, to many, points to a much larger conspiracy. It is also on record that Justice Omotosho specifically ordered that Kanu be kept in Sokoto prison. When all these facts are placed side by side, it becomes increasingly difficult to dismiss the argument that this case has been carefully choreographed from the start. Now, I say this not to incite fear, but to raise serious awareness. In Nigeria, especially when the fate of an Igbo man is involved, history has taught us to be vigilant. This is why, to many observers, this process does not feel like a genuine appeal. I'm saying it. Despite the seriousness of the offense involved, the charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, instead, it looks like a calculated attempt to validate an injustice already committed. Let's go deeper. Why these concerns resonate? First, let's talk about legitimate legal concerns. There are valid and reasonable lack of fear, unified legal representation, venue choice, which is raising a very serious perception of bias. Now you talk about the unresolved issue of extraordinary rendition, jurisdictional question, which was also ignored at the trial stage. These alone are enough to make people uneasy about this very case. Now you talk about the structural problem in Nigeria's judicial system. Nigeria's appellate court often avoid politically sensitive reversals or uphold lower court rulings to maintain stability. This makes fears of a rubber stamp appeal not unrealistic, even if painful. Now, where caution is needed, terms like death wish or predetermined judges should be framed as concerns and pattern. In the end, this moment should not be met with celebration or despair, but with clear-eye vigilance. An appeal is meant to correct injustice, not quietly affirm it. And with the movement, with the way things are going, when the questions of venue, legal representation, and unresolved violations remain unanswered, hope must be tempered with caution. Justice is not defined by court date alone, but by fairness, transparency, and adherence to the rule of law. This case goes far beyond one man. Everyone should always know this. It speaks to the soul of our justice system and the future of due process in Nigeria. As events continue to unfold, the duty of every conscious citizen is simple: stay informed, ask questions, and refuse to normalize injustice, because it is likely to come for everyone any day. As always, this is About Perspectives, your domain for unfiltered news and raw political analysis. In this domain, we'll give it straightforward, give it the way it is, no emotion, no bias, but what it should be. So therefore, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, subscribe to this very channel, turn on the notification so you'd always get notified whenever we drop a new update. And please don't forget to leave us with your opinion. What do you think about this very development? Thank you for your time and thank you for watching.